Hello and welcome along to another episode of this FM20 story with Dorking Wanderers with me, Daniel. It's Season 8, Episode 3, and things are going okay, to be honest. It's very tight in League 1, every club separated by about 7 or 8 points, so it looks like it's going to be a very tight season, and we're just about in the mix and clinging on to our expectations. We have had some difficulties caused by international breaks again, the same problem that we foresaw with the centre-halves, added to the fact that we've obviously got one out injured here, but aside from that, things have been going okay. We don't look terrible at the moment. It's not disastrous despite not having a lightning start. And today we play two of the big sides, Barnsley at home and Ipswich away. Both expected to be up in the top 6 this year, but Ipswich have started pretty poorly. You say that, they're down in 15th, just 1 point behind us. And we're only 3 behind Barnsley up in 5th. So it's just too early to call and a bit too tight to judge at the moment. But before we get into today's game, a massive thank you for everyone who continues to follow the series and the new season, of course. I really do appreciate your continued support. Ryan Gary's the manager of Barnsley today. Very quickly off topic because I've just noticed it on the screen. He back in the first FM20. Pretty sure he was a pretty good prospect back at Arsenal. He didn't make it obviously, and he is a very good coach and manager there, so that's going to be a tough test for us today. But as I was saying, if you are enjoying the series and new season, please do put a thumbs up on the video, and if you haven't already, subscribe for daily content from both long-term stories. The other one yesterday was an absolute humdinger. Make sure you go and check that one out to see what I mean. It was a bit of a surprise episode. A few things didn't quite go to plan in that one. I was a little bit hypocritical, but either way, it's a very big change in the last episode, so make sure you go back and check out our Journeyman series. I'll put the link to that episode in the eye above, but for now we're going to focus on Dorking Wanderers. So firstly, the transfers. We've just gone past deadline day. Did we do any other business? No, we didn't in terms of ins, but outs, you can see there's a massive one. Kenny Humphreys Durnley, just after the last episode, on transfer deadline day for the Championship clubs. Middlesbrough and a host of other clubs came in, £600,000 plus a 50% sell-on fee. He was our 5th or 6th choice centre midfielder. I was looking at loaning him out. We can't really complain about that sort of offer. He's gone to Middlesbrough where he's now loan listed, but he's worth a lot of money. I'm sure we'll get some money from the sell-on clause as well. And if we can work towards £1 million, it should keep us in the black financially all season. We're up at 876 grand at the moment, probably the most we've ever had at the club. And now being back at Crawley, looking like we're doing okay. Our wage bill's actually lower than last season. It does show that although it may be another season of consolidation, we are going to be able to get the club back on an even keel. So off the pitch, things looking good. In terms of the schedule on it, it's not been too bad either, if we're being honest. So let's have a look at the games we played. Following that disastrous start, we were a little bit worried at the end of the last episode, but a 2-0 win away at Blackpool really eased that doubt immediately. Mark King and Dimitri Sear coming in up front with the goals before a 2-2 defeat against Millwall. I say 2-2 defeat because it was on penalties after the whole team went. Young Joe Wilson missing a penalty kick at the end, but either way, a very good performance from our backup side. Niall John and Dimitri Sear with goals again, and that performance really inspired us to change our tactics slightly. Niall John came back into the middle of midfield, used a role that I've never really tried before, and it's worked to a T since then. You can see his match rating really good again in the next game, as John King got his first for the season to beat Scunthorpe. A really good performance against a club we've obviously managed in an alternate universe this year, although that was followed with a 1-0 defeat against Rotherham. Really struggled with the midweek game so far this year. And a 2-0 win away at Peterborough. Matthew Smith and John King again. Niall John with a decent match rating that time, and a 1-1 draw away at Shrewsbury. And again, Niall John is the hero of that game. He set up Nolan for the goal, and it was an equaliser after just 7 minutes on the clock. We couldn't nick the winner, but it was a decent performance, and it kept us in good form at the end of the month. And a 3-1 win from our reserve side at home to Oxford. Jake Gallagher playing at right back for the second time this season. We thought he was dead and buried, but 1-star ability, he's still going in these competitions. Out of position 2, did a really good job for us, and we did get a comfortable win in the end. Matt Everett finally getting his first goals for the club, although he did pick up a knock which put him out of the weekend, though he'll be back in the lineup today hoping to retaliate and get that same performance level again. Cole McKinnon scored the other goal before we went into the Pompey game, and we really struggled defensively in this one. All of our first 3 choice central defenders were out, so Joe Wilson, the 4th choice, played. He was joined by Matt Smith, the left back, who cut inside, and then Luke Thomas, who was having a strop and unhappy, he came in at left back, so that left us a little bit short there. Luke Thomas is really starting to cause problems off the pitch. Wanted to be playing, but now it said he's pleased with the time, so hopefully that'll change as we go along. But that's probably only because he started that game, and that won't be happening again in this one, I can assure you. But obviously we've got 2 big games to get through, so let's just go straight into them. The dynamics looking okay. The team cohesion's still not quite up to scratch yet. A few new signings which is causing some of that difficulty. But Barnsley, it's also close there. They're up in the playoffs. You'd say they're heavy favourites, and they are according to to the media, but again, there's 3 points in it. If we win this game, we're level with them. What's the goal difference like? Ours +2, theirs +7, so they'll probably still be above us. But either way, not a bad start to the season. So let's go and get into this first of today's games. So the lineup's pretty familiar. It's Jonathan Mitchell in goal. We weren't able to get in a new goalkeeper in the end. We looked at a few, but none of them really good enough. Even the big name known ones were only 2.5, 3-star. So there was no point as changing the squad there. Jonathan Mitchell settles in as captain and as first choice goalkeeper for a second season. Smith and Ramsey are the fullbacks, with King and Walker returning at centre half. That after the international break, of course. Knowles, John and Smith in midfield. Niall John as a roaming playmaker, a tactic I've never been able to get to work before. That role's always seemed to cause problems, particularly in a 2, but as a 3 it seems to work with the deep line playmakers, so good luck to him. It's given us a lease of life. Dalton and Everett on the wings getting back into form, and John King up front with Sia on the bench. He's got a chance to be an impact sub. So a really good lineup and some good players on the bench, the likes of Nolan, McKinnon and Simons if we need them, but Dimitri Sia's been a pleasant surprise so far, so let's see if he can be an impact super sub today. Very defensive for Barnsley, a 4-1-4-1, Ben Pearson in the middle I recognise, McGinley at left back as well, Dylan Phillips in goal, the hero in the other save for a little while. Dylan Phillips, we were ashamed to lose him in recent episodes, that cost us a bit of trouble in the head coach, but either way we've got a job to do today. We're going to encourage the lads to get into it. We'll start on that normal cautious mentality as Barnsley on paper a better side, and with a lot of young talent in the team going forward, I'd imagine it's going to be a long day at the office. Well, we really do seem to be picking them on camera, don't we? I say that as Moles heads in though. It's disallowed for offside. The first highlight after half an hour. Our first shot on goal whatsoever. John King puts a lovely free kick in. Moles heads it in, but it doesn't go anywhere. So with that in mind, we are going to go up to a positive mentality. We're struggling to get any sort of foothold in this game. Lots of possession, so let's get it further up. But at half time, it's been a drab affair again. And it seems like that happens every time we're on camera. So we're going to say to the lads we're pleased. We're playing against the side up in the playoffs. It's not a disastrous result, and immediately in the second half we've got the ball. Here's John and Moles. Can we find a way? We've lost it on halfway. We've been mugged in possession. Here's Walker on the edge. Chance to shoot. What an effort that is. Jonathan Mitchell, the skipper, with a save. It's behind for a corner kick and we survive early on there. Not the best start to the half though. Dudley with a chance to cross to the back post. Walker heads away only as far as Bowden. We've got to get tight to him there. It's a good block in the end and he's going to be cleared away. Matt Smith running down the wing. Which Smith is it? I can't even tell from here. Is Matt Smith the left back, I think? It's not. It's Matthew Smith in midfield. I need to get them different numbers next season so I can tell from the back of the shirt. But with 5 gone in the second half, it remains 0-0. And again on camera, we've not managed a shot on target. It's a free kick for Barnsley in the middle. Long ball forward, Walker heads away. Good challenge from Ramsey then, but he just stops. Why did he stop there? He was getting there first and he just stood still. Brown gets the ball out to Dudley and now we're under pressure for it. Again, a good save from Jonathan Mitchell, but we are getting pasted since going positive, so I'm actually going to drop back to cautious again. Mark King with a booking. We've got to be careful at the back as the goal kick goes straight to their opposition player. Pearson in the middle. It's no relent from the attacks here. Barnsley all over us at the moment. Alvarado to the left hand side. Out to Walker, who's caused trouble early in the half. We've got a chance to get a block in and we do, but it's back to McGinley into Brown, headed away again as far as Walker. His shot's into the corner and you can't say it hasn't been coming in this half. A quiet first half. We've got our tactics wrong and again these lads camera shy this season. I don't think we've actually had a shot on target all season yet, not in the 3 games we've seen on camera. An hour gone though, a terrible performance. We're going to ask the lads to show a little bit of passion, and with 25 to go we'll make some changes too. The front 3 all in line to be replaced. So Tom Cook on the right. Dalton's been a real disappointment this year. Last season an absolute superstar, in the same role with the same players this year, not able to get anything out of it. Nolan on the left, Sia up front, and we desperately need that impact sub we talked about. Here's Matthew Smith to John, the roaming playmaker, getting the ball out wide to Nolan. The sub winger with a chance to cross. He's challenged. He's still come out with the ball though. Gets to the byline unopposed. Chance to cross. Tom Cook's there. Heads just wide of the post. A really good effort and good delivery, but unfortunately Cook should have done better with a header. Well, we're back at a bizarre time as a corner's into the box. Moles volleys it over the bar. Why we came back halfway, I'm not sure. 10 minutes to go. I'm going to go attacking. We've got to try and create something. We'll demand more again as Mitchell's got it in goal. We're still yet to have a shot on target, and that kick from Mitchell is the worst I've ever seen on this game. Straight to the left winger, Walker, who cuts in and shoots again. Mitchell makes amends with a very good save, but that's just danger we don't need to be putting on ourselves. We're putting pressure on, we just didn't need it, and we've unfortunately had to deal with another shot on goal. 12 shots on target for Barnsley. It's been absolute domination, and they deservedly going to win 1-0, and in truth it should have been a lot more. There we go then, 1-0 victory for Barnsley, truly deserved. I've no idea what's happening on camera. The three worst performances by far have been the Southend and Bolton ones in the last episode, and in this one today as well, just as bad. So hopefully against Ipswich we'll do something a bit better. They've lost again against Scunthorpe, battered in fact against a relegation threatened side. They're down in 18th place, surely they're going to be a beatable side. Their goal difference is woeful, they're leaking goals galore, and surely we can get back on track against them. So Barnsley grab a deserved win, we drop to 15th. I'm sure that'll cause a bit of trouble with this. We're down to C+ there, the first time we've been in the C's in ages, and I'm a little bit worried going into the next game. So we'll be back in a moment in a week's time against Ipswich. A big game here in League One for us. We really need to get back on track pretty quickly and hopefully look good on camera for the first time this season. Back for game 2, we've had a team meeting, we've tried to get the lads back on track, we've got Harvey Roux back to fitness, he can be on the bench today if need be, Everett's passed a fitness test too, Ipswich slight favourites are home as you'd probably expect between two even sides, though we have got the better head-to-head record, both teams in inconsistent form, 2 wins, a draw and 2 defeats, so there's not really much to choose between the sides, but Ipswich obviously a far bigger club. Jack Walker struggling physically, maybe Hugh comes in but he'll definitely be on the bench, and I think Walker's just going to have to survive an hour, and hopefully we'll be able to get through to that point. In terms of the front three, I'm going to give them one more chance. Dalton's been in woeful form. I wonder if I can warn him. He's been really poor for games now. So criticise recent form. Is there anything we can do? You haven't scored many recently, but we have a bit of faith in you. He was scoring goals galore last season. Don't forget those 12 or 13 from midfield. John King's managed to get 1 this season, but he hasn't scored in the last 2 games since. So let's go and get back into this second game. Exactly the same lineup with a chance to put it right, but Roux on the bench in place of Wilson, and that gives us a little bit more experience in defence. So in we go, let's see if we can get a result. It can't be a worse performance, can it? Let's find out. 4-2-3-1 for Ipswich, an attacking midfielder in place for them. Otherwise, no names I recognise. A lot of youngsters in the team. Huffer in goal, the only name I've seen before. So we're going to encourage the lads. Let's go and get into better form. We've got the morale back on side with our team meeting. And obviously a couple of those individual chats too. So let's see if they take effect in this one. Early on, it's Dalton down the right-hand side. Into the edge of the box, headed away as far as Youngs. Where's our midfield gone? 2 deep-lying playmakers, and they're further ahead than the Ipswich attack there. Anderson picks it up, goes for the shot just wide of the post. Ipswich had the only shots of the game so far, and our midfield gone missing with 3 minutes gone. Corner on the right hand side, John puts it in, headed down, Matthew Smith in, on the slide, it's a slide tackle from Dalton, and again the individual talk has worked. It's perfect, you haven't been scoring recently, a bit of faith and they always pop up with one next time, and in most occasions it's been a bloody slide tackle as well, not even been a goal or a shot, but it's Dalton on the right hand side again, back to the right back Moles, or Moles in the right back position even, back to Ramsey and King, we're keeping it well, but if we dally here we're going to get caught on it, back to Walker, it's composed so far, lovely ball out to Everett here, beats 1, he's got the man on his backside, finds John King in a box, he puts it in for 2, and this is the day it all turns around. John King on the big screen celebrating his goal, and we lead 2-0 with 18 minutes gone. 2 goals, 2 shots on target, it's the 2 men who starred and scored most of them last year, and they're back on track today as we've got another corner on the right. Noel John delivers to the front post, headed away and cleared by as far as Alexander. He finds Knowles on the right hand side, back to King 25 yards out to Noel John on the right again. We're keeping it well, we're creating chances. Dalton block back to Moles, into King whose shot's blocked. Oh, the keeper's missed it. He just dived on the ball, but the ball wasn't there. It dropped down next to him and it's tapped in by King. 3-0 with 25 gone. John King's got 2 of them and we look like we're back on track in style. We talked to the lads, it seems to have worked. The confidence was all we needed. As John King puts it in, it's cleared away as far as Alexander. And if we can hold on to this to half time, I'll start to feel a little more confident. But it's Ipswich coming forward on the left. Don't rule them out just yet. We've thrown away leads like this in both series before. It's Wilson on the left to Alexander. They're keeping it well. They're still moving forward. They've still had more shots in this game, don't forget. And Wilson on the left with a chance to cross again. Back to Cooper on the edge of the box. Here's Alexander. Finds Senior. He's got an overlap from Hughes. A chance to shoot. Miles Mitchell with a good save to tip over. He should have probably held it, but he dealt with the danger. And thankfully, they don't manage to concede. Into the box from Youngs from the corner. Can we get it away? Moles as far as Senior. Still no danger cleared so far. Senior on the right. His cross is blocked. And Everett should finally get it clear. Back to Jonathan Mitchell. Just clear it downfield, will ya? We need the end of this highlight very quickly. We're running out of breath and we need the ball clear. We don't want any danger to our goal. Here's Everett on the left-hand side though. Maybe it's a counter we're setting up here. We don't. The highlight does eventually end. But we're back with Ipswich just a minute later. They're still ploughing forward. Miller on the left-hand side cutting in. Good ball to Anderson beats one. His shot saved by Jonathan Mitchell. A brilliant game from the skipper so far, and hopefully he'll be in the best form which we need. Ipswich had double the shots, the same clear-cut chances, still 3-0 though remarkably, and Mark King heads away only as far as Miller, and the danger and pressure is still on at the edge of our box. Back to Hughes and Pask. Hughes again, we've been forcing them backwards though, and the highlight does eventually end. We've helped it peter out to nothing, and Jonathan Mitchell's now got a goal kick. Out to Everett on the left-hand side. There's 2 or 3 up with him, he's got to beat a man here though, just goes back and plays safe to Smith. He finds the other Smith, and Everett beats the right back, caused him trouble all game so far. 2 in the box, John King's one of them, bobbles down for him again. It's a brilliant save by Huffer at point blank range, and he's behind for a corner kick, but another clear chance for us, but this one goes begging. In from John on the right hand side, so many good corners he's put in. There's another one. Cooper eventually gets it clear to the right, and the highlight ends with 5 to the break, and we still remarkably lead 3-0 at Portman Road. There's the half-time whistle. What a performance from the lads. Clinical edge going forward, brilliant goalkeeping at the other end. In between, we've not been great, to be honest. We've had more possession, but we've conceded shots galore. But with 5 gone in the second half, the scoreline is all that matters. We're in the sort of position where we need to get results now, and a 3-0 lead is certainly helping that. Here's Matthew Smith in the middle to John. We've still had a lot of threatening attacks, don't be fooled by that. It's Walker to Smith down the left-hand side. Everett finding John King again. On a hat-trick, will he be greedy? He isn't. It's a brilliant ball into Dalton. Heads it wide, he had the keeper worried though. We're 10 gone in a second, it's still 3-0. We're back again with Dalton on the right hand side in a defensive area. Just a long punt downfield, but John King picks it up in a channel. He's got 2 up in support, great cross in. Hughes heads away as far as Everett, but he picks it up out wide and he's got 3 in the box. Good ball in, Dalton nods down. He doesn't get there, but a penalty's given. John King's on a hat-trick, but he missed his last one, so I'm not taking any chances at all. We've been in poor form, we need to get this sorted. Why is King taking it? Did you just see me pick Stefan Moles? I mean, I don't care now because the ball's gone in, but what's the point in having the change taker if you don't do it? We definitely picked Stefan Moles in time, but John King takes it and makes it 4-0. Hat-trick for John King, brilliant return to form for the side in general, and will that take us back in the top half? Surely it will. King delivers, Dalton loses out, Walker again, we're going for 5. Here's Niall John, beats 1, he's been a revelation in that role. He's actually had the worst rating today, but he's still done a brilliant job. As Youngs picks it up on halfway for Ipswich, they're trying to come forward down the left. Wilson finds Youngs, got a man on the overlap, 2 up with him, finds Cooper and Senior on the edge of the box. Lovely ball out to the right back, Hughes. Can we stop the cross in time? We can't, it's into Senior at the front post. Back to his man again, Hughes unmarked, into Youngs whose shot's blocked. Body's on the line, but it's still not clear yet. Cooper's got it 25 yards out. Out to Hughes on the right hand side again. We've seen his delivery's good already, but this time he's not able to do anything, and with 20 to go we'll think about changes. We'll just see out this highlight from Alexander first. Here's Hughes on the right for Ipswich, charges into the box. Where's the defence? Thankfully it's greedy, it's gone miles wide of the post, but with 20 to go we do need to make a change or two, but a really good return to form so far. So security first. Niall John's coming off. He's going to have a rest in the middle. Javier Simons is coming on. Central midfielder on defend. Just sticking between the two to be defensive. Jack Walker's knackered, so we're going to take him off. Harvey Rue can put a bit of fitness in at centre half. He needs minutes as well, so not a bad thing for him. What else can we do in here? I'm not sure for now, to be honest. Everett only just made it physically, so should we bring Jack Nolan on for him? And with those 3 made, we'll get back into it and just hope we can keep it up for the last 20. As it stands, we are going back into the top half. I'm back within 3 points of the playoffs too. Ipswich struggling by the relegation zone, and with 15 to go, that's what we like to see. Having said that, we've just produced one of the worst bits of marking I've seen in this series. Pask with a free header from 3 yards out, and he's managed to put it in. His 4-1 now. The clean sheet's gone. A few of the ratings dipping defensively, but Ipswich really come back into this now. We've got to be worried about these last 10. Hughes into the box, headed away. It's back in just over the bar, and I tell you what, I know we're 3 goals ahead here. I've pressed the wrong button there, but we're going to go and time waste. Slow the tempo, just make sure there's no stone unturned here. We have to get a positive result. We can't have a 4-3, we can't have a tense finish. We need to make sure this is done pretty comfortably. Here's Matt Smith at left back, into Nolan the substitute, back to Smith again. Can we get it up to King? It's a poor aimless ball. King's not able to get anywhere near it, and Ipswich will charge forward again. They're just trying to get the goal difference up. Hughes puts it in, 2 unmarked, it's in for 4-2, and with 3 minutes left, we've somehow made this nervy. 4-0 up with 20 minutes to to go, and we're still trying our best to throw it away. Ipswich now had 3 times the amount of shots, twice the amount on target, and nearly caught us in possession too, as Ramsey picks a throw on the right hand side. Thankfully stoppage time is going to save us. Just a minute and a half of it to go. Ramsey picks it up, finds Moulds and now John King. Can we get a 5th? Can we put gloss on it? Over to Nolan on the left. There's 4 in the box here. He's got a chance to cross. Back to Simons, who shoots. Blocked on the line. Could have been his first for the club, but instead Ipswich on the counter. They could well make it 4-3 here. Senior's got 5 in support. He's got to pick the right pass. Simons gets a challenge in, but he's still come out with the ball. Senior crosses, it's blocked. Nolan gets away, and finally it's clear. And with a minute of stoppage time left, it does look like we can celebrate victory. Back to the goalkeeper for Ipswich, just 45 seconds on the clock, and finally it looks like we can start to enjoy it, although it has been far closer than it needed to be. Here's Marrow into the box. He shoots. Mitchell forced into another good save, and look at the ratings. They've been dragged down again. We've really forced ourselves into a difficult position. From what should have been a comfortable victory, a brilliant glowing review, we've somehow managed to make it difficult, and Ipswich fans have been given hope along the way. But it is over now. It's a 4-2 victory, a really good return to form on the road, a brilliant result despite not the best performance. Defensively we looked all at sea again. Going forward we look like superstars as Mitchell comes and claims the final cross. He's the one man defensively who can take gloss from this victory. He's put in a brilliant display at the back. Mitchell with a long kick, and surely it'll be over. It is a 4-2 victory for Dorking. We're back in the top half, we're back in form, and we finally scored some goals on camera. So there's the confirmation, a good victory on the road. Not the best defensively, but we did get a good result. 3 points off the playoffs, back in form, and we managed to score 4 as well. And John King returns in style with a hat-trick, and Callum Dalton ends his goal drought too. So let's very quickly have a look at the schedule, see when we might next be back. We'll probably try and leave it until around FA Cup first round time. If we've got big games around there, we'll do that. There's a couple of home games against Crawley and Lincoln. Not quite sure where they are in the league. Crawley up in 5th, Lincoln 11th. Might be the perfect games at the moment. But of course things could change with international breaks. We could get a big FA Cup first round tie. So let's just see how that goes as we move along. And we'll be back in the next episode for 2 more big games. But if you did enjoy this episode and one exciting performance, please do put a thumbs up on the video. Let me know in the comments if you think that will be a turning point. Can we return to form with King and Dalton moving forward? Of course, they scored so many of those crucial goals last year, and both of them back amongst the goals in that one. So I'm a little bit more hopeful that it'll be able to happen now. But of course, it could all go wrong in 3 days' time. Bradford City at home next. I'm sure a tough game. Where are they in the league? They're in 16th place. So again, much of a muchness. We're all very similar at the moment, and it's just waiting to see which side prevails on the day. But if you did enjoy it, please do put a thumbs up on it. If you haven't already, subscribe for daily FM20 content from 2 long-term stories. We've obviously got the head coach, which I mentioned yesterday. A massive episode in that one. By far the strangest to the series so far. A big change and a bit of hypocrisy in there. But I'm a little bit surprised at what's happened early in the season. So make sure you go back and check that one out. And then finally, I'm part of a podcast that does matchday vlogs and interviews. You can see the link to the matchday vlogs in the eye above. And we've got a couple of new series on the channel as well. So do pop over and check them out if you've got time. But a massive thanks for watching this one and your continued support of the series as always. I really do appreciate it. And I hope to see you next time for 2 more big League One games and maybe even a big FA Cup tie. Can we get back on track with Dorking Wanderers?